thing. So let's just settle into our meditation posture. And just check your body. Make sure, first of all, your mind is in the same place your body is. Take a nice deep breath. Just relax. And then check your feet. If they're on the floor, if you're down on the floor, have them flat on the floor in a parallel position or on a cushion slightly raised. Sit bones are slightly raised. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. And just imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light. It's just stretching, lengthening. So you're getting a little bit taller, a little bit longer. Some space in between your vertebrae. And the head is very slightly tipped forward, eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose. Just relax your jaw. And then bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, your mouth, and back of the head. And relax the ears and the inner ear, the jaw again, back of the tongue, back of the neck, shoulders. Just allow your shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and the limbs, just your arms and your legs, and then hands and fingers and feet and toes. But don't go to sleep. We want to be alert here. But just kind of release the muscles. And also at the same time, stay nicely aligned so you're not slumped over. If you are sitting in a couch or a comfy chair, it might be tempting just to kind of lean into it. So try and sit up as best you can. If there are any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. But try not to follow them with your mind. Just bring the mind back to the breath and then notice what stories might be arising in the mind. And are they real stories or did you just make them up? And do these made up stories have emotions around them? And don't judge, just notice what's there. I was just listening to a video of Venerable Rabina talking about good roommates and bad roommates, and she talks about the bad roommates as being all our delusions, our anger and attachment, and the good roommates, which are our virtues, tend to stay hidden under the bed. We don't bring them out. So here in this practice, we're trying to focus on our good roommates that are hiding under the bed. We need to encourage them, give them a helping hand to come to the forefront, because we don't give them as much attention as we give our delusions. So whatever is arising in the mind, it's okay. It's good to know it's there, but try not to engage or judge or criticize. And then let's think about all the people of our life. So your loved ones, your very, very dear friends, family, spouses, children. And then there's those people in your life who are a little difficult. And then there's our strangers. On the freeway today, I was with many. We were all driving quite slowly, 40 to 45 miles per hour, which is very unusual for California. but all strangers. And you forget when you're in a car on a freeway that there's actually people in those cars who have lives and families and loves and sadness and happiness, and they all have their own problems and their individual bits and pieces going on. So you never know what is going on in anyone's life when you meet them. Maybe they smile at you, but maybe they've just lost their house or their husband or their wife or their child. So be careful with the hearts of others. So this friend, this enemy, and the stranger, they can all change place at any time. It's good to be aware of that. It's also good to remember that they're all equal. They're just like you and me. They want to be happy. They want to be free from suffering. And they all have brilliance, this capacity for this enlightened mind. So I think we'll do this practice this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So we start this practice by remembering that there is no negativity that cannot be purified. So you just remember, we create negativity with our mind, and equally we can create positivity with it instead. And so we start this practice of the 4 opponent powers with regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any sentient being in this life, this day, and in all past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech. And then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. So we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So all our enjoyments, all our sufferings, all based on our past karma. So having harmed others in the past, we ourselves will experience suffering in the future. And that just seems to be something that actually we can prevent. So we pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing the Buddha to forgive us. We purify ourselves by relying upon his methods. So you can imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. This is the mind of your teacher. So it doesn't matter if they're male or female or either. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has this beautiful face, radiant, blissful. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up on a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. So the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So compassion is just a way of thinking like, may you be free from suffering. This is compassion. And then think particularly of people that have harmed you. And rather than feeling angst towards them, maybe have a sense of compassion in your heart. Actually, this is more healing for you to do it this way. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're giving in. It means that you realize that the harm they've caused you is going to cause them suffering in the future. So you have a sense of, you're not feeling sorry for them, you have a sense of wishing for them to be free from that suffering. So you make a strong aspiration to do this, practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification. So we start with the purification of the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And this arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe. And be so delighted that the harm you have done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. So think the moment anybody lays eyes on you, they even sense you coming. They feel you when you hug someone. If they happen to smell you as you walk past, your perfume or whatever, hairspray, whatever, face cream, hand cream, whatever it is you're wearing, may that benefit their mind. So next is a purification of the speech. And again, Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you and overflowing as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebhawa Sutokaya Mebhawa Supokaya Mebhawa Anarakta Mebhawa Sava Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebhawa Sutokaya Mebhawa Supokaya Mebhawa Anarakta Mebhawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebhawa Sutokaya Mebhawa Supokaya Mebhawa Anarakta Mebhawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebhawa Sutokaya Mebhawa Supokaya Mebhawa Anarakta Mebhawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebhawa Sutokaya Mebhawa Supokaya Mebhawa Anarakta Mebhawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebhawa Sutokaya Mebhawa Supokaya Mebhawa Anarakta Mebhawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebhawa Sutokaya Mebhawa Supokaya Mebhawa Anarakta Mebhawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine there's no way that you could do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. So the moment they hear the sweet sound of your voice, every syllable that falls out of your mouth benefits another person's mind or another sentient being's mind and your own mind because you hear it as well. So the next is the purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you flick on the switch. So rather than thinking of turning on the light, here we're thinking about dispelling the darkness. It's exactly the same, but it's a different way to think about it. So we think the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart and it dispels all the darkness of the negativity of your mind. So your depression and anxiety and grudges and bitterness and jealousy, all of this completely purified by this mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebhawa Sutokaya Mebhawa Supokaya Mebhawa Anarakta Mebhawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebhawa Sutokaya Mebhawa Supokaya Mebhawa Anarakta Mebhawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebhawa Sutokaya Mebhawa Supokaya Mebhawa Anarakta Mebhawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sava Siddhi Nipiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So again, be delighted that all the delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think there's no way, there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the imprints of negativity of body, speech, and mind. So imagine light and nectar pouring from Vajrasattva's heart, touches your heart, and fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from the mind. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So now feel you're completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So the next is the power of resolve. And this is the fourth step in the purification process, the final step, and a really crucial one. This is where we have to make a decision that we don't want to harm with our body and our speech and our mind, ourselves and others, in order for us to be able to sort of get on top of some of our habits, whether it be with our speech. It's usually our speech, you know. Generally, we're not running around, you know, stealing and murdering and killing and all this kind of stuff. It's generally, I think, in our community, it's more about speech. So we have to be careful with our speech, because you never know whatever is going on for somebody in any particular day. So be careful with everybody's heart and also your own. So in order for this to happen, we have to get on top of our habits. And some of those habits involve us being a little bit reactive at times. So it's good to put some space in between the thought and the reaction. So whatever it is you want to work on, think about something to work on between now and tomorrow, and say you're going to refrain. Maybe you're going to refrain from being reactive, or you're going to keep your reactivity to yourself for maybe half a day, or 5 minutes, or 2 minutes, or your opinions, whatever it is that you do that might be, you might say flippantly, but actually maybe it lands somewhere and is harmful in a way. So we be careful, and then rejoice in your efforts. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown and think. My Guru's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And then just a wee quick meditation on emptiness. So you just think perhaps, just very simply think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So we try and get on top of our concrete view of the world. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created by doing this purification to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Ho Tup Shul Chang Shin Jam Gon Galloway, Tenzing Kyong Pelaway, Kunza Dog Porze, Chog Sum Kurwe Leg Mon to Drub, Pa Dog Stog Dulaje, Gondu Jab Ten Shog. Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long, and for Geshe-Shera, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody, lots of love, sweet dreams, stay safe, those people in the Bay Area, and stay indoors. Maybe not, I don't know. Anyway, sweet dreams. I'm sorry, we're a little bit over. So thank you very much for hosting, Alexis, and for everybody else who's in the back room, keeping all the Zoomers, or the, what are they, zombies? No, bombers out. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Good night. See you tomorrow.
Good night.
Bye.